Hey, Unified Generation.
Welcome to Unified Talk.
I'm Addison.
And I'm Daniel.
We are U.S. Youth Ambassadors from Kansas.
It's no secret that on Unified Talk, we like to give tips and tricks on how to build healthy mindsets and inclusive goals.
But we aren't the first ones to use our voice and spread inclusion. In fact, the idea of spreading the word of inclusion goes way back.
Back to the 90s.
No, even farther than that. Eunice Kennedy Shriver first took action to spread the word in 1968 during the first Special Olympics Games. Years later, in 2009, Soeren Palumbo and Timbo Shriver, two youth leaders, helped to start the Spread the Word campaign. And today, it's grown into a global movement.
A lot happened over the years to get where we are now.
Let's take a trip down memory lane to learn from these inclusive experts and see what tips we can use to make an even more inclusive future. What does inclusion mean?
Accepting all people as equals, making sure they have access to the same services and opportunities. B, having people with similarities hanging out together. If you said A, you're right. Inclusion means accepting all people as equals and making sure they have access to the same services and opportunities as everyone else.
Eunice Kennedy Shriver had a similar definition. In the 1960s, Ms. Shriver saw people with intellectual disabilities being ignored and neglected. She believed everyone, including people with ID, should be accepted and given the same opportunities and experiences as everyone else.
She shared this belief by taking action. In 1962, she opened up Camp Shriver Summer Camp for young people with ID.
It was so successful that people in the community came to watch and see what all of the athletes were capable of.
The word spread year after year. Camp Shriver grew more and more popular.
Eventually, the success led to the first International Special Olympics Summer Games.
Hold up. Have you been listening? When was the first Special Olympics Summer Games?
A, 1962. B, 1968. It took place in 1968.
For the first time, athletes with ID were able to compete in sporting events.
Eunice Kennedy Shriver's actions made it very clear what athletes with ID were capable of.
She helped spread the word of inclusion throughout the country.
Between 1968 and 2009, a lot happened.
Why are we talking about 2009 again?
You'll see. But like I was saying, a lot happened in those 40 plus years. Special Olympics was officially born. The organization was filled with all kinds of people who were working to spread the importance of inclusion on and off the field.
People like us.
Yeah, youth leaders were working hard using their voices in their schools and communities to make sure everyone had an opportunity to play, to lead, and to learn. Two voices that could not be silenced were Timbo Shriver and Soeren Palumbo.
Oh, now I know why 2009 is important. It's the year the Spread the Word campaign was formed. What is the Spread the Word campaign?
A fundraising event where people jump into freezing cold water to raise money and awareness for Special Olympics. B, Spread the Word campaign is a campaign that empowers anyone and everyone to take action for inclusion. The answer is B. Spread the Word is a campaign that empowers everyone and anyone to take action for inclusion. The goal is to create a world of inclusion for all people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Timbo and Soeren were two youth leaders who were inspired by athletes like Loretta Claiborne, a Special Olympics athlete. She explained how words are powerful. This stuck with Timbo and Soeren.
They wanted to spread the message and teach other people to stop using hurtful words towards people with ID.
Student leaders from different universities joined together to come up with ways to silence hateful language in our society. They formed a website, a pledge, and a logo.
The first group was able to inspire dozens of colleges and high schools around the country to sign banners pledging to use more inclusive language towards people with ID.
Like Eunice, Timbo, and Soeren discovered how they can use their actions to amplify their beliefs and their voices.
This brings us to today.
The messages from those before us, like Eunice Kennedy Shriver, Timbo Shriver, and Soeren Palumbo, are still heard loud and clear today.
Youth voices like ours and yours are spreading the message throughout our schools and communities.
This is still done through the Spread the Word campaign, which continues to grow.
You can spread the word with us, and here's how.
First, take time to reflect. Before you speak up about something, you need to have a solid understanding of what it means to you. Figure out what inclusion means to you and where you are on your inclusion journey. Start by completing our Inclusion Tiles game. This can help you see how you view inclusion and how you act on it in your day-to-day life.
Next, take the pledge. Go to the Spread the Word website linked below and make your pledge for inclusion. This can be a promise to yourself and to those around you. Can you believe over 800,000 people have signed the pledge already?
Third, start speaking up. One small way to use your voice is talking with your family and friends about inclusion and why it is important.
A bigger step can be taken with someone at school to set up a full in-person or virtual Spread the Word banner signing. This can help your entire school take a step towards inclusion.
Remember that actions speak louder than words.
Try to commit to one inclusive action a week and go up from there.
You can start by having a meaningful conversation with someone with ID or inviting someone with ID out to lunch or your club meeting.
Lastly, don't forget to use your voice to educate people.
And remember, words are powerful, so we should use them to include and empower others. Are you ready to speak up for inclusion?
Are you ready to be heard? Start by trying out our tips. Make sure you post your work on social media and tag us at SO North America. We want to help share your work and your voice.
You too can be a champion of change and make this world a more inclusive place by using your voice.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, everyone.